Yeah, greetings, people. Doc Martin, criminologist, educator, social commentator, and creative arts practitioner here. Welcome to the Roadman's Guide, a podcast chat show about life and issues from the ends, aka the inner city, the road, or just the streets. And you know something? Despite the bad press, negative labeling, distorted myths, and inaccurate portrayals, people in the end survive, live normal lives, and contribute to the betterment of our community. This is down to positive, strong-willed and self-determined individuals, groups and organisations who work tirelessly to make the community a better place, where there's hope, optimism and, more importantly, a sense of belonging. The Roadman's Guide is about giving a platform to those individuals who can voice the concerns, give us insights, pass on the wisdom and offer solutions to the complex nature of life in the ends. But more importantly, the Roadman's Guide is about the community, for the community. So get involved, come onto the show and talk, become a listener, as well as giving us some feedback to shape, guide and improve what we do. Right. Today's show on the Roadman's Guide, a really important show. I mean, this is for all the parents out there, for youth workers, social workers. It's a critical show. We hear a lot of words in the community when it comes to dealing with young people about intervention, preventative work. And so what we wanted to do is get, somebody on the show that could not just talk about this, but somebody that does this stuff. So today's show is about young people. It's about how do we empower young people? And more importantly, when young people stray, how do we keep them on the straight and narrow? How do we solve problems for young people? Because a lot of people say they can do it, but not everybody can do it good and effectively. So on today's show, I'd like to welcome my guest. I'm looking at him on the microphone, yeah? And I know you can't see what he looks like, but he's looking at me, you know what I mean? I'd like to welcome Tyson.
How you doing, sir?
Well, I'm all right, Tyson. So, it's customary on the show. We've got to get into it, yeah? So, when I think of Tyson, yeah, I think of Mike Tyson. And if I put you and him together, roughly the same kind of physique. That's why I'm being humble this morning.
I'd love your physique.
So, Tyson, before we get started, yeah, tell me a bit about who you are. Tell me about Tyson.
Well, where do I start? I call myself an entrepreneur. From Birmingham.
We go back a little bit before that, though. Give me, what was you like as a youth growing up?
As a youth growing up, we grew up around Borsley, Rednor, Franklin, moved to Aston, Handsworth, Black Gypsy, really. Been around, met a lot of people, done a lot of things.
What was you like at school?
At school, I've always loved money. So whatever it take to make money, I'll do.
So you sold biscuits during the break time and
everything.
You're hosting at school.
Yeah.
Was you good at it though?
Very good.
Yeah.
I come from a business background, so my mum, she's a businesswoman. My granddad used to own all shops and everything else. So business background. So where I could make money, I'd make money.
So all right, you did school. When you left school, 16 and a half or so. I mean,
I was the youngest, so I left at 15.
All right, so you left at 15, but.
Even before I left school, I was still doing business. It's like when I was at school, I had a friend, I said this story to everybody. It's so mad. A guy called Leo. He used to have a security company, Leo Security. And I started getting all my friends working with him. So I had all the mans who were on the road working. And I loved it because you just sit in the building, play a computer, chat with your brethren, but you're working on the site, getting money. So I used to just
let me ask you a question though. I mean, a lot of our young people out there, followers. Mm-hmm. Would you say that when you was about 15, although you was running a business, but would you say that was your apprenticeship in becoming a young leader?
Definitely.
So what qualities did you have? Because to me, when I was at school, I was a prefect. I used to order people around, and
he's a buffin.
For some reason, yeah. But for some reason, I used to do it. So what I'm saying is, before we get into some of the bigger issues, when you was at school, what personal characteristics and qualities did you have to say, not walk around saying, look at me, I'm a leader, but the fact that you was running a little business, what qualities did you have?
I think with me, because I was always a people person as well, and a forward thinker. I always had a game plan from when I was very young. Where do I want to be? I want to own a theme park. I haven't got there yet, but I wanted to do jewelry.
So where did that come from? I mean,
Don't know. I'm not no Michael Jackson, so there's no Never Never Land. But I thought I'd have a theme park. It just seemed like a good idea to have.
So let's fast forward. 16, left school.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go straight into a job?
No, I went to college, done all that. Done business and finance, progressed from there. But I always had business in my back of my mind. That's what we're going to get. The end goal is going to be own business, change the world. That was the plan.
So, I mean, did it go wrong at some stage?
Yeah. Started mixing with, I'm not going to say the wrong people. Yeah, started mixing with different people. I'm not going to say the wrong people, different people. I thought I could fast track certain things.
Is that because you felt that you had blocked opportunities and you kind of saw, you kind of looked for people that could kind of help you do certain things?
Not really. Got in a little bit of trouble. Dealt with it different to how I would normally deal with certain things.
What was that when you was introduced to like the code of the streets though? That was like,
I've always been somebody who knows everybody on the streets. And I was never like put into a certain brand. So it wasn't like, oh, you're a Burger, you're a Johnson, you're a Zulu. I mean, when you're in London, the different gangs. I just knew everybody, and that's how I used to do my thing. I used to be everywhere, get on with everybody. So I can go anywhere. I didn't want to be one of these people who can't go to top of Handsworth, bottom of Handsworth, Aston, can't go North London, South London. Because I used to like go all over the UK. Like as soon as we started driving, we was out and about in the different clubs, going around.
So you got involved with a couple of wrong people in it?
Got introduced to a lot of people.
All right.
A lot of people from different circles. But because we got on with everybody, and I was always a middleman. The A knows C, so I'm the B. I make money off you. You introduce to you. Run around.
So basically, it was still a business, man. I mean,
Yeah.
So,
and we used to sell everything. We used to sell clothes. I used to sell cars. I mean, from a young age as well. So it was everything, kind of thing.
So was there a point where it really went bad, or did you
really
see that
bad.
goes with the territory?
I went to jail. I went to prison for something I didn't do. I went to jail for a robbery, which I had no involvement in. But I thought at the end of the day, I'd done certain other little things anyway. Never got away with it. And in life, God don't sleep, does he?
Question: I've worked in jails for 40 years. When you was in there, did you manage to kind of be a businessman in jail?
This is going to sound bad. I love jail, and it's wrong. In jail, I was the man. I was selling. I don't smoke or nothing like that, so I was getting burned, selling it. You double up in jail. If you sell a pack of biscuits, you get 2 back. Because I don't smoke, the first week just rid it. After that, I was selling everything in there. So biscuits, pop noodles, soaps, Radoxes, and when I left jail, I left about 20 black bags full of Radoxes and shower gels. And
would you say then that prison strengthened your entrepreneurial skills? In a sense,
Definitely.
It's a restricted environment and the risk is fairly strong. So would you say that your capacity to be able to do business, it was in jail where you kind of had to really hone it?
Not really. In jail, jails don't work. To me, they don't work. People go in jail from being a burglar, end up being a car thief because you learn a new trade. I mean, in jail, you learn so many different criminal ways to do certain things. It's horrible in there.
Just on that level, the word that we call that is called differential association. And what that means is you learn crime from other criminals. And prison, having worked in there for 40 years, that's the university. Yeah. That's where you can get a PhD in criminality. You know what I mean?
And it's terrible. Like, people telling me how to rob cars, how to hotwire cars. I was never interested in robbing cars anyway. But
well, talk to me about the first day you got out. You come out, you finish, you got your prison bag.
Let's go back a little bit to the first day when I went in.
Okay.
The first day I went in, I sat down. I was with a guy from Birmingham, and we started talking. And then I had a game plan. I was like, okay, when I come out, what I want to do is I want to silly little things like, just before I got a laptop, I want to be a security man. I've done one down on the door, Eddie Futural, and I thought, that's my life. I want to be a security man. I loved it. So then I sat down, I planned, when I come out, I want to do this. By the time I'm 20, by the time I'm 25, by the time I'm 35, by the time I'm 45, I want to retire. I set out a game plan, what I want to do, and I just worked towards it. So the day when I came out of jail, you do the normal thing, you go and find girl, do what you got to do. Then I sat down, but I was lost. I came into my mum's house, so I went back to my mum's house, didn't go back to mine. I sat there thinking, okay, I'm in the house, 9 o'clock, what do I do? Where do I go? What's my next step? I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. So then it's like, you know what? Go back to your game plan. Go back to pen and paper. Okay, I want to start doing this. Start speaking to a couple of guys now. Okay, I want to start doing security. I want to start doing this. I want to get into that. I started working straight away with my good friend. But before I went to jail and I had the idea about security man, the first time I was on the door, but I was already doing security with my friend who had a company. So I had loads of people working with me now for me, making money off them. So security was like the way, like, you know what, Ty? You like a little bit of a fight every so often. You like to be around girls and people with money. So security was like the ideal job for me.
So in some respects, you know, this journey from when you're younger to when you're older, you just become this like this entrepreneur. Before we move on to the next thing, though, but listening to you, you know, I mean, did you ever have any moments between then and this particular period you're talking about where you ever felt depressed or low? Because you strike me as someone that when you're talking,
I was angry because I thought, you know what?
And how did you channel the anger?
Do you know what? Every negative turns into a positive. I was angry with white people, to be blatantly honest. I thought, you know what? A white person put me in jail for something I ain't done. But then I thought, you know what? Why have I been put in jail? Why have I been caged up? My mum got very sick at the same time. She nearly died. She wouldn't have an operation until I come out of jail. And I was very, very angry. I thought, you know what? I'm here. And then I thought, you know what? I'm here for a reason. God's done it. Nothing's done without God, like, and his plan. And like people say, your life's written before you was born. So obviously, I was meant to go there. I was told to go in there by my mum's friend who's a psychic. She told me I'm going to jail. She told me that I'm going to leave education early to go to jail, and that's exactly what happened. But then it's like, you know what? You can't keep anger inside of you for the rest of your life. There's a reason why everything happens. A man can lick you down in the road. You know what I mean? There's a reason why it happened.
Well, let me ask you a question, because obviously, you know, you've done a lot up to this particular point. One of the things that you're known for, one of the things you get involved in, you're very passionate about empowering young people. What was the tipping point where you started to go from your own personal needs, I want to make money, I want to do this, that? What was the point in which you started to switch your focus and say, you know something, I want to help young people? What was the event or situation? What happened?
There wasn't really an event. I've always wanted to help people. That was always going to be the plan. And when I started making money, I was like, you know what? When I come out of jail, I was in my flat in Bromford, and I thought, you know what? My friend was a youth worker, but he was doing security and he was doing youth work. He invited me to come down to his centre. I started going down to his centre with all the young Muslim kids, started interacting with them. And I was talking to people who are like, their goal in life is, I want to be a gangbanger, I want to be a shooter, da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh no. Started talking to them. I started telling them about my experiences. I mean, and the roads that I went down to get to where I was. I mean, I started talking to them. Then I started working in like secure units now. And I thought, you know what? Even though I got my business, I want to give back. I want to work with these young people and guide them, because, like, I think deeper. I think, like, why is that person behaving like that? Why are they like that? And then I think, you know what? I grew up with my parents. My dad died just before I went to jail, which was not this ideal situation. But it was like, you know what? Some of these kids, they don't know their dad. They don't know maybe their mum. So their new dad, is the man on the road who's guiding them this way. So they'll be looking at people like, oh, he's driving a big flash car, he's driving that big XR3i at the time, or that Subaru. I don't want to be that guy. They're looking for, like, love. I always say to girls, like, why are you sleeping with every Tom, Dick and Harry? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? They're trying to find love. They're trying to get, like, somebody to accept them for what they are. I mean, and he's thinking, you know what? Somebody needs to help these people. Right now, I run independent living centres as well for young people. And how I deal with the young people is like a fire with fire. I'll get into them. I say, listen, you want to be a gangster? You want to know this man, that man? I take some of the young people to, like, grime concerts, what I do. And I like introduce them to these grime artists. I'm like, yo, this is X, Y, and Z. They're not really gangsters. They rap about it, but it's a business to them.